Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome. But in all honesty, I feel like you guys are the ones that are supposed to be welcoming me because girl, where have I been? What have I been up to? What went down? That is exactly what today's video is about. But before we get there, my name is Yakure for those that are new here. And if you're not new here, welcome back, baby. Welcome. So today's video is basically a live update slash girl talk Q&A. Also with me, I bought a little drinky to go with the video. It's gonna be minutes of yapping, and I just bought a little something just to sip on it while we have this conversation. So I'm gonna be pouring that in my favorite glass. So yeah, today we are basically just going to, don't know how I'm gonna open this with these nails, but anywho, today send help guys. It shouldn't be that hard. Yeah. Ooh. Great. So yeah, today's video is just basically going to be us catching up and all of that. Let me just pour our drinky. Awesome. So yeah, tune in, get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack. Let's get into catching up and a whole lot of yapping. Hope you enjoy. So I also noticed that although the questions were a lot, most of them were around the same topic, or they were they had the same central idea. So I'm gonna be grouping them as such. So the very first question that we are going to be answering today is how I have been. Okay, that's like a very bulky question. It has a lot of weight, if I have to be honest. In terms of how I've been, there isn't really like a black and white situation. There isn't really a black and white way of answering how a person has been feeling, just because there's a lot of gray areas and gray spaces when it comes to emotions. So to answer that question, I would say that I've really just been trying to find a balance in my emotions. Most importantly, just basically always looking at the good in life, always trying to identify the silver lining in every situation, because that is honestly the only way a person can stay sane, is through remaining optimistic. So basically, to round it all up, I've just really been trying to reconnect with myself. I've been trying to find my purpose. I've been trying to navigate life's troubles, life's trials and tribulations with so much grace on myself, because I've also realized that I'm someone who can be very hard on myself. Secondly, I've also really just been trying to adjust and learn, because throughout the course of this video, you're going to notice as to how there's been a lot of changes in my life, like so many changes. And yeah, that came with a lot of learning, a lot of adjusting, a lot of getting acclimatized to new environments, new lifestyles, and just new ways of doing things. All in all, I would say I've been doing okay. Yeah, I've been doing okay. Just a lot of quiet growth. Intentional stillness is what I would say I have been feeling like. Intentional stillness. So the next question is, where have you been? So in terms of where I've been on the face of the earth. Don't worry, I didn't go to Mars, I didn't leave this planet whatsoever. I've been on the face of the earth. It's just that I haven't really been on the YouTube street. The day I'm shooting this video is the 13th of August. The last time I posted was the 21st of January 2024. That is 1 year, 6 months and 23 days. I've been gone for that long, and obviously in that span of time, a lot has happened, a lot has changed. So we will get into it. So in terms of where I've been on earth, I've been around Yeah, to put it in a nutshell, I moved from where I was initially staying, where I grew up, where I schooled my whole life and everything. I moved from that place in 2024 to a different town where I was now completing my AS levels. It was another level of education. It was much more advanced. It required more from me. It was time-wise, it was very much taxing. It required more of an output from me and all of that. And also sometime around that year, beginning of that year, I think maybe like a few weeks after dropping the last video, I got robbed. Yeah, if you guys want a story time on that, more I am more than willing to share it with you. Actually, it was a friend of mine and we both got robbed, and she would know why I'm laughing. She would know why I'm laughing. So if you guys want that story time, just comment down below and I'm gonna call her so we give you guys a story time. So yeah, I got robbed. For a few more months or weeks, I also didn't have a phone, so I really just could not get back in my Zoom. And that is the main reason, that is the most paramount or the central reason as to why I had to leave YouTube, because I didn't have a phone. And the phones that I got thereafter or subsequently were just not phones I could use to record for you guys. Yeah, and then as I said, I was in a new school. It was a new environment, a lot of adjusting. For the first time, I'm in a hostel. For the first time, I'm away from my parents. For the first time, I'm in like a completely new school, so, and a new system as well. So everything just required a lot of me. Every place just needed a little piece of me. So that is the most fundamental reason as to why I was gone from YouTube. That was now 2024 also. My parents then eventually moved out of that town, or out of that place, and then yeah, it was a lot of settling in, finding a place and all of that. So a lot really happened in 2024. Oh yeah, and then in terms of 2025, the past 7 months and a few days, I would say that they were a season of me just trying to, you know, find my footing around everything. Because honestly speaking, it was again almost very similar to what happened in 2024. I moved to a different city. I'm now living in Windhoek. I'm in a totally different like educational system. I'm done with like secondary school or secondary education. I'm now doing tertiary education. That's a different system, that's different requirements, that's different demands from this particular system and all of that. It was a lot of me getting used to the habitat. It was a lot of just finding my footing, man, finding my balance. Guys, I've really just been trying to find my balance. Okay, it's really not that deep. I've really just been trying to find my balance. Everything was just happening so quickly and all of that. So 2025, the past few months for me were just particularly or specifically first semester was more on getting used to the university system, and also just finding a system that works for me, building a system that works for me, how I'm gonna manage my academic affairs, social affairs, financial affairs, all of that in a way that would really be beneficial or that works for me. Because at the end of the day, that is what varsity is all about. University basically just teaches you how to be a CEO of your own life, because then you are all on your own. So yeah, commercial break. What am I leaving out? But yeah, the next question is, how has the whole university experience been for you so far? So far, the varsity experience has been very much shaping. It has been very much challenging, but like in a good way, because one thing that varsity has taught me so far, or has done to me so far, is drag me out of my comfort zone. It made me feel so exposed to new environments. It made me feel so shaky, it made me feel very nervous, but like in a shaping and stretching manner. I feel like if it weren't for that, especially the part where it had pulled me out of my comfort zone, there wouldn't be any growth. So in that sense, I would say it had been very, very good. In terms of like academic affairs or academic wise, I would say that it has been very much demanding. It has been very much time taxing. In other aspects, it from a different perspective, I would say it has also shaped me in, it has forced me to grow and has shaped me in ways that I wouldn't have been shaped in if it weren't for the varsity experience. For example, in terms of independence, it has taught me the importance of making the right financial decisions. It has taught me the importance of budgeting. It has taught me the importance of saving. It has taught me a lot of independence, because everything that you do is by your, like, it's at your own discretion, it's at your own disposal. So yeah, it has taught me all of that. It has also shown me that the world is literally your oyster. Like, I'm not even trying to sound cliche when I say this, but varsity will really teach you, if you are good at looking at the opportunities presented to you and grabbing them, or just seeing the environment and seeing opportunities when you see that environment. So it has taught me that the world is literally your oyster, and whatever it is that you want to go after, whatever it is that is at your heart or on your heart, is out there. All you have to do is go there and go get it for yourself. So that is what it has taught me. It has taught me that the world is vast, the playground is so big for all of us to play on. So yeah, all in all, varsity has really just been a reminder that there are a lot of opportunities in this life, and all you have to do is just go get those opportunities for yourself. It's been a journey of a lot of shaping, a lot of molding, a lot of growth in that particular manner, and also just basically being an independent individual. And then, how does the corporate world feel like? What type of law do you want to do? Yeah, what does the corporate world feel like, and what type of law do I want to do? In terms of the corporate world, I've really just gotten like a very small peep into that type of world. Like, that was just a drop in the bucket. Like, what I got to experience is just a drop in the bucket. Also, to give context to that, over the holiday I got a recess internship. It wasn't really for a long time, it went on for like a few weeks, but those weeks were very informative weeks. I learned a lot through the firm I was interning at. There's a lot of learning that goes into the corporate world, and it's very stretching. It tests how elastic your mind is, it tests your intelligence. So the corporate world is very vibrant. It has a lot of opportunities, it has a lot of ways in which you can grow. All in all, you know, it's good to call yourself a corporate girly. In terms of how the corporate world feels, to reiterate what I was saying, it gave me some sort of a little lens into what it feels like to be a working girl, to be a employed babe, whatever they call it. But yeah, it made me feel like a very much capable individual. It made me feel like an independent woman. It was giving boss girl, boss babe vibes. And when you enter the corporate space, all you see is just opportunity, and you just have to choose to maximize on that. And then in terms of what type of law I want to do, I have thought about it, but I don't feel like I have a steady position to disclose that yet. But if I have to give you guys a little hint, it's just that the qualification that I'm currently pursuing is not the end of my law or my legal journey. So yeah, that is all I can share for now. Okay, so here there's a question on what's one win you are really proud of that happened during the time you've been gone. So when I was thinking about this question, I gave it much thought, and I've really realized that I cannot pin it down or bind it to one win only. So in terms of like materialistic wins over the year 6 months that I've not been here, I would say materialistically I'm really proud of myself for having made it to the top 10 of the region where I was doing my high school studies or my secondary studies in terms of like in the NASCO exams final results, I was ranked as part of the top 10 in the region, and that was something quite very big. So that's another reminder that when y'all are dealing with me, you're not only dealing with the beauty, but you're also dealing with brains. But yeah, that is one of them. The second thing is that I've also encountered a lot of wins in terms of like my debate hobby. For the region that I was debating for, we got the first prize award for the MVA Fund Debate Championships. So yeah, that was very nice. In terms of abstract wins that I've encountered over the time I've been gone, I would say I've really developed a lot of self-love for myself, and that is very mandatory for any girl out there, for any human being out there. You need to love yourself. So those years really shaped me in a sense that I got to learn to love myself even more. It forced me to do that, and I'm very, very grateful. It came with a lot of self-love and self-discipline. And then the next thing is also one of the wins that I got from the past year and 6 months, I would say, is community. The people that I met, especially when I moved to my new school, I really appreciate them so much. I see them as family. They are no longer just my friends whatsoever, and I've said this to them, and I continuously say this to them. But yeah, I really appreciate the community that I got to earn over the past year and 6 months, as well as me realizing the importance of ambition as a form of self-love. I don't know if that makes sense. The moment you have a lot of ambition, or the moment you're someone who's ambitious and you have a lot of goals for yourself and you actively pursue these goals, it only shows how much self-love you have for yourself. Having dreams, having aspirations that you constantly and actively walk towards, that is a form of self-love. So I would say it's self-love, self-discipline, ambition, and community / family, friends. Those are my biggest abstract wins, and I will never ever take those for granted. So yeah, I would say those are my wins. And then the next question would then be, what is the most important lesson you have learned recently? And then what's one thing you learned this year that surprised you? The importance of practicing delayed gratification and being in your or accepting your season of waiting. And I hold it so close to me because at some point I was really putting so much pressure on myself just because I had put a timestamp on everything. So we really need to learn to be or to sit patiently in our season of waiting. And secondly, we need to learn the importance of practicing delayed gratification, because at the end of the day it is much more sustainable. I should have another one. Also, I have learned the importance of setting boundaries. Boundaries are put there to protect you and your heart. I really learned the importance of setting boundaries, firm boundaries, non-negotiable boundaries. We really need to learn to love ourselves enough and to put ourselves first, especially when it comes to boundaries that are there to protect us. The moment you don't have boundaries, it's like everyone just wants to use you for their gain. And by the moment you realize that because of your lack of boundaries, you are being used, you are being walked over, you are being disrespected, you are going to hate yourself for that. Because the moment you don't realize that the boundaries are there to protect you, you will be used and abused, unfortunately. So yeah, those are the 3 lessons that I've learned that are very dear to me. Okay, this is a very good question. It's a very, very nice question. Yeah, so the question is, what's been the scariest but most rewarding decision you have made recently? I love this question so much. So anywho, in terms of what has been scary but most rewarding, I would say I have 2 of them. And I would say this is something everyone has to learn at some point in their life. The first one is how toxic and how fatal comfort is, how killing your comfort zone is. So in terms of comfort zones, I've really learned that they make you stagnant. Comfort zones make you dormant. You do not grow, you do not learn, you do not experience. You just exist. You're not even living. At some point in this year, I was very comfortable and I sat in my comfort for so long, such that, and you know, I'm someone who's very ambitious, I'm someone who's very driven, and when I was in my comfort zone and when I saw that there was really no growth happening in my life, it kind of made me depressed per se, because I'm really someone who doesn't like being stagnant. Like, we have to grow, we have to level up. It doesn't matter how small or how big, there has to be change. Your comfort zone will kill and stunt your growth. So that is one of the scariest things that I've done. The scariest thing that I've done, but most rewarding, was learning to actively step out of my comfort zone. Really glad I actually did step out of my comfort zone. It was so rewarding. It was so rewarding in the sense that I got to learn, I got to grow. I am a better person. True. The scariest but most rewarding thing I did was sometimes to be a little bit selfish. For the longest, I realized that I was too selfless. I would always put other people before me. I would put other people before my needs. I would put other people before my goals. I would put other people before my commitments. And I paid a hefty price for doing so. And I understand that at times people really do need you. They need your presence, they need your help. But at the same time, there are moments when you just have to have some sort of hierarchy of what is important to you in your life. And you play according to that hierarchy, putting myself first, putting my needs first, showing up for myself first. Because if I don't show up for myself, there is no way I'll be able to show up for other people fully. So yeah, it has been rewarding in the sense that I now have more time dedicated to loving myself. I have more time dedicated to chasing after my goals and after my dreams and things like that. Put your energy, your effort, your sweat, your hard work in something you know you will have or will be with you at the end of the day. What are you studying and how are you coping with that? I think I already answered what I'm studying. I am a law student. How I'm coping with that, honestly speaking, am I coping? Am I coping? Anywho, jokes aside, how I cope with that, these are also lessons that I'm deriving from first semester, because that was like some sort of introduction and also a way of finding my footing in my academic affairs in varsity. So I would say that the way I cope with it is basically tackling the work when I get it. Because if you really have to look at varsity will have you calm and chill for months. You're not doing anything, classes are being cancelled, and then all of a sudden you have 5 assignments due in 1 week, you have 3 tests that are consecutive, or you have exams in 3 weeks. So it's very important for you to just start doing your work as soon as you get it. Network, make friends with those people that are doing the same course as you, because at the end of the day, you are going to be dependent on these people. There's going to be a time when you will not have information or notes or anything in that manner, but somebody else has. So you need to network, you need to make friends, you need to reach out to these people, seek or find a mentor, find someone who's like a senior of yours. Sometimes it doesn't really have to be someone who's doing the same course as you. It could be someone doing a totally different course but who's a senior to you. you're gonna gain a lot of wisdom and knowledge from these people, because they have been where you are at before, and they know more, and they know how to guide you just in case, you know, you need some sort of direction. They can be your compass. It's deep, but it's also not that deep. Yeah. What's the biggest change in your life lately? I would say the biggest change in my life lately is just basically the fact that I am now an adult. Partially, or at least according to my age, I should be an adult. Really different city than my parents. Like, my parents live so far from me. I am now in varsity, so those are the biggest changes in my life lately. And then there's this question. It says relationship status, obviously. So guys, I don't know if it's like secret to anybody, but yeah, I am in a relationship. I'm in a mutually exclusive relationship with someone. The girl talk Q&A. So let's get into it. Okay, so now we're about to get into the second segment of the video, which is the girl talk Q&A. Let me start off with the most girl related question. The first one is, do you prefer tampons or pads, and why? So I would not really have a well-rounded answer to this question, mainly because I haven't experienced tampons so far. Ever since I started with my periods, I started menstruating in grade 7. That was 2019. So from 2019 up to this age, or this date, all I've really ever used are pads. I haven't used tampons. The reason why I haven't used tampons is mainly because I'm scared. I really, like, I've watched a lot of like horror stories on tampons, how it got stuck, and then there's a girl that then got like an infection because she put it in and then she forgot that she had a tampon, and then when she went to the bathroom again to go put in another tampon, she pushed the other one inside, and yeah, it just led to like a lot of complications and stuff. Not to say that is what the case would be when I do start using tampons, it's just that I'm a little bit too scared. Yeah, but it's something I am looking forward to doing. I will try out tampons, and we are gonna have like a different series, or another series of girls talk or girl talk Q&A, and I'm gonna tell you guys how my experience was with tampons, and I would then compare tampons to pads. And there's a question that says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is girl code to you? I believe that is what they wanted to say. Okay, the reason why I'm thinking is because in this particular generation, we have a lot of girls that claim to be girls. I'm gonna be very blunt. We have a lot of girls that claim to be girls, but then also are the very same ones that are gossiping each other, are the very same ones that are spreading nasty rumors about one another, are the very same ones that are breaking down each other's images, and dragging each other's names in the mud, are the very same ones that are fighting over men. Yo, I really don't know. It's so messed up. I feel like the importance and the effectiveness of girl code is depreciating over time. I'm so sorry to say, but it's very rare for you to find girls that are girls and that are also upholding the principles of girl code. That's just my view. But in terms of what how important girl code is to me, from like on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say 11. It breaks the scale, because honestly speaking, girl code is very important. It maintains relationships. It makes you a good friend. It shows that you're really a girl's girl. It shows that you are really rooting for humanity and femininity. It shows that you're someone with a good heart. It shows that you have pure intentions. Because honestly speaking, if a friend of mine were to break girl code, I don't think our relationship would really be the same anymore, especially if it's like a continuous thing, and or they were very much aware of it and they intentionally break this girl code. So I would say that for me it's very important. Please don't come around me with funny things. Of another thing of girl code, you don't really put out another girl's I don't know, embarrassing moments out there just to shame her, just because you want to be a pick me. I really, guys, I hold girl code dear to me. There's someone I cut off because they were throwing me under the bus or trying to make me feel embarrassed just for male attention and male validation. I don't play about those things. Girl code is very important. It's very serious for me. It's very significant. I don't take it lightly. I will never take it lightly. Another question tied to that: how do you navigate real female friendships given how unauthentic some girls can be? So in terms of friendships, I'm really someone who struggles. I've been through a lot of friendships that taught me great lessons, ugly lessons. And for me, as I'm someone who believes that everyone is good, I have a heart that gives people the benefit of the doubt in all of this. It really took great lessons, ugly lessons, to learn that not everyone has a heart like yours. Not everyone is a good person. Not everyone has good intentions. So in terms of navigating real female friendships, honestly speaking, I would say that the moment I stopped trying to find genuine people, stopped trying to find friendship, and just sit down and wait for such friendships to gravitate towards me, it was a whole game changer. Because in the past year, I've really met amazing girls, people like you, people with the same interests, same goals, same virtues in life, same values, same morals. They will eventually gravitate towards you. And another way that I navigate, I use my intuitive compass. I have high intuition. Like, I can sense funny energies, funny moods, weird vibes, weird energies. And the moment I sense that someone is not being genuine, trust and believe that I won't even waste my time in investing in that friendship in any shape or form. My intuitive compass helps me navigate. I'm someone who's really good at picking up energies. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the slightest slip up. It could be small weird energy that is giving envy, giving secret animosity, giving I'm not that happy for you. Trust your gut feeling. When your gut feeling is like, hey, she doesn't seem, or they don't seem genuine, don't waste your time. You want to save yourself the heartache. What's something you learned, or what's something you wish you learned about womanhood earlier? Importance of self-love early on, like when I was growing up, because self-love really is the center, or the central pole of where everything else is bound. Like how much you respect yourself, how you treat yourself, what you allow, what you don't allow, what you entertain, what you don't entertain, always stems from how much self-love you have as an individual. How you move in life, how ambitious you are in life, it all stems from how much you love yourself. I really wish I learned the importance of self-love early on in womanhood. Also, another thing that I've learned in terms of like self-love, tying it to womanhood, is the more you love yourself, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the better it is. The more confident you become, the more self-worth and self-esteem you have. The more self-worth and self-esteem you have, the better it is for you to walk away from situations that do not serve you anymore. The easier it is for you to recognize when something is not serving you anymore, and that is when you actively make the decision to walk away. So self-love is very important. I cannot stress this enough. It is very, 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 very important. And then another thing I really wish I learned about womanhood earlier on is the beauty of it. We really also do have a lot of uplifting women out there. The spirit of sisterhood, the spirit of humanity, the spirit of femininity is still very much alive. You just really have to find the right people. And then the next question is, what is one piece of advice you'd give your younger self? What would I tell my younger self? I would tell my younger self that everything is going to be okay. I would tell her that her hard work, her sweat, her effort, it never went in vain, or it's never gonna go in vain. I would tell her to push harder. I would tell her to not listen to the naysayers. I would tell her to continue believing in herself. I would tell her that she's deserving. I would tell her that everything will be okay. And I would tell her that at the end of the day, she was never gonna be alone. Didn't matter how many times she felt like it was just her alone, you know, fighting past the boundaries and borders of life. She was never alone, and she's never gonna be alone, and everything will be okay in the very end. All she needed to do, I'll tell her, is that all she needs to do is believe in herself and work very hard. That is what I would tell her. And I would tell her that she's also very deserving of love. I would tell her that she's also very deserving of grace. I would tell her that her wins, no matter how big or small they are, they deserve to be celebrated. I would tell her that her people would come around in due time. I would tell her that she will find people that celebrate her. I would tell her that she will find people that love her, that cherish her. And in the meantime, all she has to do is just love herself so much, have so much grace for herself, and work very hard. That is what I would tell her. It's getting dark very quickly. I need to wrap this up. That is basically the threshold of how many questions I could take for this particular video. I've gone through the footage so far, and it's quite bulky, and I don't want the video to be too long. I know there's still like 20 something questions that I haven't answered yet, but I will definitely get back to those in the next upload. The next upload will strictly be a girl talk, or I'll see what I will call it, but yeah, I'll get back with the answers to those questions in the next upload. So I just want to thank the person that made this video possible. I want to thank the person that was constantly pushing me behind the scenes and just telling me, please get back to YouTube, get back to something you really loved. So I'm really, really, really thankful to that person. If it went up to them, I wouldn't have been able to bring out this video to you guys. And secondly, I would like to say thank you to every single person that has been supporting me, even when I was absent from the YouTube streets for so long. Although I was on a hiatus for so long, I am very thankful for your unwavering support. It means a lot. I'll definitely be doing more uploads, but most of my uploads are gonna be sit down videos until further notice. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. That technically brings us to the end of my return video, or my first upload after going on a hiatus. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Really hope to see you guys in my next upload.